This video is for entertainment purposes only, and it is not meant to hurt anyone in any way, in this form or fashion. Everything in this video is alleged and has some truth to it. I did my research, and you can go back and redo your own research, but this is entertainment purposes only, and I will have a disclaimer put up after this message. So, I hope you all enjoy this video on September the 18th, 2025. Love y'all. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you.
We hit some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them and doing everything they can to score political points from it. In between the finger pointing, there was grieving. On Friday, the White House flew the flags at half staff, which got some criticism. But on a human level, you can see how hard the president is taking this.
My condolences on the loss of your friend Charlie Kirk. May I ask, sir, personally, how are you holding up over the last day and a half, sir?
I think very good. And by the way, right there, you see all the trucks? They've just started construction of the new ballroom for the White House, which is something they've been trying to get, as you know, for about 150 years. And it's going to be a beauty.
Yes. He's at the fourth stage of grief, construction. Demolition, construction. This is not how an adult grieves the murder of someone he called a friend. This is how a 4-year-old mourns a goldfish, okay?
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of DDTS, episode 590. Happy Thursday, September the 18th, 2025. I'm back with another video. Thank y'all for joining me today. Good morning. It is 9:02 a.m. And I wanted to do a video today, do some content. This was not planned. This was like spur of the moment. So I said, you know what? Let me come on here and let me do some content. I'm thinking that I'm going to do another video later on today, but I just wanted to do this video at this very moment. We're going to talk about one subject and one topic, but I wanted to give you an update on one, if I may, if I'm correct on this one. So before we get into the new topic and the main topic that we're going to be talking about, I want to elaborate on something. I want to elaborate on the case and the situation of Trey Reed. Now, I've read yesterday. Now, I don't know if there has been any updates, but I have read a little article and I had watched a little video. And it is alleged and detailed that officials said that, first of all, Trey Reed was in his dorm room at first. And he was found unalive. Now it is saying that he was hung in the tree at the Delta State University. Now, with all of that has been circulating allegedly, the family is demanding answers. And I'm with the family. I would want answers myself with a situation like that going on and happening. Like I said in my last video, and I will say it in this one, no one can hang themselves if their bones is broken. Can't no one hang themselves and their bones is broken. Like what I said, they say it's not foul play allegedly. I believe it is. I believe it's someone that was at that college that might have had a allegedly racist bone in their body that basically feel like Trey Reed allegedly being at an all-white university. They kind of felt like he didn't belong there. So we do have those type of people still in this universe. If you know the history of black peoples in our community getting lynched, treated terribly. If you know, you know. I don't think I should have to go any further. If you know, you know. We're going to put it in that aspect. But that's the update that I have at this very moment. I said what I said, and I'm sticking with my statement. Not statement, but my opinion. He didn't do this to himself. Someone did this to him. And I believe allegedly that someone is trying to cover it up to protect their reputation and not to let the school get a bad name. That's how I see it, and that's how I'm going to put it. But that's the update that I have on the Trey Reed topic. So we're going to go ahead and get into the main topic for today. But first, if you like this type of video and if you like this type of content, hit that like button, subscribe button, and that notification bell so you will get notified when I have new videos and new content available and uploaded, and you can just start watching and enjoy yourself. Leave your comments, your opinions, what you think, but please keep it nice, keep it respectful, and keep it 100. If you haven't, subscribe, like, comment. Now we're finna go ahead and get into today's topic and what has been trending since last night. Now, hold on, you guys. One second, y'all. 1 second. Hey, y'all, I'm back. So today we're going to be talking about Jimmy Kimmel. And I know y'all probably saying, wow, DeAndre is talking about Jimmy Kimmel. Listen, I don't know of Jimmy Kimmel like that, but what I will say is that I've heard of him. I do know he is a late talk show host, and he has been in the media, and it is alleged and it is true that his show has been yanked off the air. And it is said that ABC pulls Jimmy Kimmel's show off air after the comments that Jimmy Kimmel allegedly made about Charlie Kirk and his passing and his death. Now, yes, I did a video on Charlie Kirk and what I really thought about the whole situation. But I'm going to go ahead and say this because I really had to think about this. I don't think I said it in that video, but I'm going to say it in this one, and I will say it in many, many other videos that I would do. And that's just my opinion. Charlie Kirk did that to himself. I didn't say it in the first video that I did because, I was trying to keep it, keep it 100, But honestly, let's put this out there. Charlie Kirk did this to himself. He did that to himself. He let his hate for us black peoples. He let his hate for black peoples, black Americans. He let his hatred for so many things that was right. And he was talking down and talking all that trash. He did that to himself. If you honestly don't have anything nice to say about a person or say about this and that and the third, then honestly don't say it. Because honestly, you will basically get what's coming to you in the end. Not saying that he deserved it, but I kind of feel he had it coming. And now with this whole situation, you got people's blaming us black peoples, us black Americans because of the death of Charlie Kirk. And I know a lot of people say, well, he had freedom of speech. He had a right to have freedom of speech. His freedom of speech was racism. His freedom of speech was screaming hate. His freedom of speech was talking madly crazy about black Americans. The comments that he made about George Floyd. The comments he made about black women. The comments he made about black peoples was better off back then than they is now. The comments he made about, oh, if a black person is a pilot, I sure hope they're qualified. Now, I might sound cold-hearted again for saying this, but honestly, I had to think about it. He did this to himself. He allied himself with a group of peoples, and he allied himself with a party that was not doing right, that's still not doing right. He done it to himself. He let his hatred. He let his mouth cash a check that his ass couldn't cash. He let his mouth write a check that his ass couldn't cash. Let's just put that out there. So it's like now Jimmy Kimmel has to pay the price because of the opinions that he had, the freedom of speech that Jimmy Kimmel had. Now Jimmy Kimmel has his show off the air because of some of the things that he said about Charlie Kirk, which was the truth. So now you got ABC pulling off his show because he was just speaking facts of how he saw fit, of how he felt about the whole situation. So now Jimmy Kimmel has to suffer. How I found out about this whole situation, I was on Instagram late last night. One of the sites, a comedian, which she is truly amazing. She had on makeup. And she said that, she was going to be a guest on the Jimmy Kimmel show. And she never was a guest because it is said after the comments that Jimmy Kimmel made allegedly about Charlie Kirk, ABC decides to pull his show off the air because of the comments that he made. And I'm going to read exactly what Jimmy Kimmel said. And if I can, I will find the video and I will put it in my description. Or better yet, I will put it on here. But I'm going to still put it in my description just in case it don't go through on screen. But I'm going to read those comments that Jimmy Kimmel made. And the thing is, these people don't like the truth. People are still, I don't know what's going on with people. I understand, people say Charlie Kirk was a human being, but okay, everybody has been talking about Charlie Kirk. What about Trey Reed? What about the other guy, the Corey guy, if I'm not mistaken? I don't know much about the other guy, but I just know more about Trey Reed. Not trying to be funny, but we're going to go ahead and get into this article about Jimmy Kimmel, and then I'm going to break it down, and we're going to elaborate on this a little bit more. So here we go. Hollywood stars unions erupt with outrage after ABC pulls Jimmy Kimmel off the air. The move drew praise from President Trump, but Hollywood, where Jimmy Kimmel is popular as a freaking host, the Oscars and Emmys leapt to his defense Thursday. And this was September the 18th, which is today. Hollywood Stars Union's fans have criticized Disney's ABC, definitely pulling Jimmy Kimmel Live off the air after pressure from the Federal Communications Commissions over his comments about the death of Charlie Kirk. Now, y'all, I'm about to read the comments that Jimmy Kimmel said that allegedly got his show off the air. Kimmel criticized Republicans and the MAGA movement in his monologue Monday night, and ABC's announced it was axing the show Wednesday hours after FCC Chair Breeden Carr threatened to take action. The move drew praise from President Donald Trump and federal Republicans, but Hollywood, where Kimmel is popular as a freaking host of the Oscars and Emmys, leapt to his defense. This isn't right, Ben Stiller said in a post on X. Actor Jamie Lee Curtis, who has spoken emotionally about Kirk's death, shared an image of Kimmel and a supportive quote on Instagram. Comedian Wanda Sykes also said in an Instagram video that while Trump had not broken an end to the wars of Gaza and Ukraine, he did end freedom of speech within his first year. Actress Jean Smart shared a picture of her with Kimmel on Instagram and said she was horrified by the show cancellation. What Jimmy said was free speech, not hate speech. People seem to only want to protect free speech when it suits their agenda, she said. Comedian Michael Costa, a roasting host of the Comedy Central The Daily Show, said on his Instagram story Wednesday night, "This is a serious moment. American history. TV networks must push back this complete BS." Unions representing Writers, Actors, Writers Guild of America, the American Federation of Musicians and Screen Actors, Guide Americans, Federations of Television's Radio Artists, condemned the show indefinite cancellation as an attack of freedom speech. Tommy Williams was just about to walk in to see the filming on Wednesday's edition of the show, only to find out that it had been canceled. They waited to pull the plug on this right as the studio audience was about to walk in. He told the Associated Press news agency he said he wasn't all aware of Kimmel's comments on Kirk. Then I went to go look to see what the comments were. They didn't really seem to justify, the means. It seemed to be a bit extreme. Comedian, actor, and podcaster Mark Maron used his Instagram account to call freedom of speech advocates to speak out against the pulling of Kimmel's show. If you have any concern or believe in the real freedom and Constitution and free speech, this is it, he said. This is a deciding moment. This is what authorism looks like in this country. It's happening. Now, the Federation of Individuals' Rights and Expression, a nonprofit based in Philadelphia, said on X FCC Chairman Breeden Carr had abused his position and surprisingly invoked public interest standard to selectively target speech The government's dislike. Earlier, Fire said on X the government pressured ABC and ABC caved. The outrage over ABC's decision looked set to spill over the streets Thursday afternoon, with a protest planned outside EL Capital Entertainment Center in Hollywood, where Jimmy Kimmel's Live is filmed, organized by the group of Refused FASM. Okay, now that's the article. Now, we just got done reading the article. I just got done reading the article. Y'all was just listening. I appreciate y'all for listening. Let me get a sip of this coffee. Now it's time for my elaboration. Now, even though I have not watched full episodes of Jimmy Kimmel, I know of Jimmy Kimmel. I watched clips of his show depending on the celebrities that he had on. Now, I will say this. I think it's sad that allegedly Jimmy Kimmel's show is being pulled off the air. Was pulled off the air because he basically said how he felt about the whole situation on Charlie Kirk. If I'm being honest and truthful, Jimmy Kimmel did not do anything wrong. He was just speaking how he felt. And the fact that the government and the fact that the FCC and the fact that, basically Trump had his show pulled because of the things that he said about Charlie Kirk. Like, really? So just because Charlie Kirk got unalived, got punished because of the hateful things and because of the prejudice things and because of the evil that he had in his heart. And when certain people speak the truth on what happened to this other person, when this other person did not care about anybody, all this person cared about was hate, they end up getting punished. So when you end up telling the truth about this and what this person was about and what their reputation was about, knowing that it wasn't good, they get punished for it. So Jimmy Kimmel basically spoke the truth about how he felt, spoke his opinion, how he felt about Charlie Kirk. And Jimmy Kimmel gets punished. But guess what? Jimmy Kimmel has supporters behind him. The peoples that I've named, Wanda Sykes, Gene Smart, and many, many others. Linnell even had wrote something on Instagram. You have a bunch of peoples that are celebrities and that are not celebrities that's going to stand behind Jimmy Kimmel. Because Jimmy Kimmel's late night show is legendary. Peoples have been drawn into Jimmy Kimmel's show for a great amount of years. I think it's wrong that ABC pulled the plug off of Jimmy Kimmel's show because of how he voiced his opinion and how he spoke on how MAGA really is and what it has been like for a great amount of time of Republicans, because Republicans don't care about making nothing right. I don't care what happened to Charlie Kirk. He honestly, I had to think about it again. He did that to himself. He did it to himself. He let his mouth write a check that his ass couldn't cash. And that's what happened. And I will say this. You can't serve God and worship the devil. So I'm just being honest, quite frank. Because Jimmy Kimmel, he has energy of a great spirited person. I love Jimmy Kimmel's energy. Jimmy Kimmel has always been the truth. And if I could do anything to help Jimmy Kimmel get his show back on the air, I truly will. I doubt Jimmy Kimmel will watch this video of mine. I doubt any celebrity or any famous person will watch this video of mine, which is okay. I'm not looking for that. I'm just putting this video out there because it's the truth. Since when do people's shows get taken off the air by the government and the FCC because they basically speaking the truth and they not lying about the truth? They basically telling it like it really is. I think that's so silly. That is silly. And who was Charlie Kirk anyway? I tell you what he was. Yes, he might have been a father. He was a father. He was a husband. He was a son. He was a cousin. He was an uncle. He was a nephew. He was friends of people's. And he was a MAGA supporter. And he was a Republican. And you know something else? He was a racist. And he did not like black peoples. He spoke meanly of black peoples. He spoke mean about our community. And you do have some black peoples of our community. Oh yes, it's a video that has been resurfacing of some black peoples celebrating Charlie Kirk at his homegoing service when I guess they had a funeral, this and that and the third, and you have some peoples in our community that's basically crying and that's basically, singing at his, I guess giving him a celebration of life. I don't know. But honestly, when I watched that video, when I saw that video on TikTok, this is what I said. I said this and I commented this. I said, this is why Harriet Tubman left some behind. This is why Harriet Tubman didn't wait on too many of us and too many of those peoples, of our peoples in our community. That's why she left some behind, because some that she left behind, they weren't hitting on nothing. They still want to serve the white man. They still want to be the slave. They still want to be the yes sir master ball. That's what they wanted. And that's why Harriet Tubman left some behind, because they didn't have their brain cells. And when I watched the video, I was like, oh hell no, this is why Harriet Tubman left some behind. Because I don't know how to explain it, but that's crazy, right? Crazy. The truth of the matter is, he might have been a father, he might have been a husband, he might have been a friend, he might have been an uncle, he might have been so many things to a bunch of peoples, but that does not take away the fact of the hatred that he had for black people. That does not take away the hatred that he had for the LGBTQ community. That does not take away the fact that he said so many evil things about the black community, about George Floyd, about black women, about black peoples being in slavery. That does not take away the fact. And what gets me, I'm friends. The thing was, I tell you what, I graduated with a bunch of peoples that I thought was very cool, that was very nice. But down the line, I had to find out for myself that the peoples that I graduated with, that I thought was cool, that spoke to me, that was always being nice, I had to realize I did not know that they were Trumpers. I did not know this. And now that I see this, as the years progressed, I see more and more and more and more and more peoples that I've graduated with, that I walked the halls with in school. It is so shocking. You would have never thought that the peoples that you was cool with, the peoples that, that basically that you saw every day, was that supportive. The thing is, whoever you choose to vote for, and whatever party you choose to go in, that is your decision. I have no I have no rights over that. I have nothing to do with that. But the thing is, whoever you choose, I just hope you know that whatever you choose affects everybody else. Whatever action that you decide to take, that affects everybody. And I just don't know how to say this, but I'm just going to say it. I can care less about Charlie Kirk. I can care less. The kids are fatherless. His wife is husbandless. And the thing is this. White people's that is racist, that is prejudiced. They didn't give a damn when Edgar Meggers was killed. They didn't give a damn when Malcolm X was killed. They didn't give a damn when Fred Hamilton was killed. People say it, and they didn't give a damn when Martin Luther King was killed, because you know why? A lot of people say that they was killed by the government. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'm just saying. They don't care about us. They never have, and they never will. But people's want to go all crazy just because Charlie Kirk has died. He did that to himself. He let his mouth get his ass with a bullet in it. He let his ass get a bullet in it. That don't have nothing to do with us. And a lot of people's really quick to blame us black folks. But we black folks, we ain't in Utah. We wasn't even there. A black person didn't even put a bullet in him. It was his own kind that did it. A 22-year-old Tyler Robinson. Now, is I'm lying or is I'm lying? Jimmy Kimmel has to suffer the consequences of because of the truth that he spoke. Wrong. He shouldn't. His show should still be on the air. His show should still be on the air. His show should still be thriving because people loved Jimmy Kimmel. And I tell you this thing, he better not apologize. He better not apologize for nothing because he did nothing wrong. But that's my opinion, and that's how I see it. But what do you guys think about this whole situation? Like, comment, and subscribe. What do you think about the Trey Reed update? What do you think about Jimmy Kimmel's show getting canceled and pulled off air because of the comments that he made about Charlie Kirk? Was he wrong? Was he telling the truth? Or what do you guys think? Put it in the comments. So that would be my video for today, y'all. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I will be back with another video as soon as possible. Thank y'all for joining me. I really want to say I love y'all, and I will see y'all on the next video, whenever that may be. I'm going to try to get another video out to y'all today. It's going to be a story time, something that I experienced yesterday that I want to elaborate with y'all on. I really want to say I love y'all and thank you, and I will see y'all next time. I love you. Thank you. Bye-bye.